Today, we're diving into 8 must-watch creepy thrillers that will keep you hooked from start to finish. Even better? They're all streaming right now on Netflix in February 2025. At number 8, Colors of Evil, Red, 2024. When the mutilated body of a young girl washes up on the shore of a Polish city, the case quickly gains national attention. Prosecutor Leopold Bilski, known for his sharp investigative skills, is assigned to the case, but what initially seems like a straightforward crime soon spirals into something far more sinister. As he digs deeper, he uncovers a tangled web of corruption, secrets, and hidden agendas that extend far beyond a single murder. Meanwhile, Helena Bogucka, the mother of the victim, refuses to let the case be buried in bureaucracy and takes matters into her own hands. Together, they navigate a city where power and crime go hand in hand, leading to a shocking revelation that will leave them questioning everything. Colors of Evil, Red is a dark and atmospheric crime thriller filled with suspense, intense performances, and a haunting exploration of justice and morality. At number 7, Hellhole, 2022. Set in 1987 Poland, Hellhole takes us into a grim, isolated monastery where disturbing exorcisms are performed on seemingly possessed individuals. Marek, a police officer working undercover, arrives at the monastery under the guise of a new monk, investigating a series of disappearances linked to the institution. As Marek begins to observe the strange rituals, he notices unsettling details. Patients seem more terrified than possessed, and the priests behave in a way that suggests they are hiding something far worse. The deeper Marek digs, the more disturbing the truth becomes. He uncovers that the exorcisms are part of a twisted and unholy ritual, and instead of banishing evil, the priests are actually preparing for something far more sinister, the arrival of a demonic entity tied to the monastery's dark past. But Marek soon realizes that he has become a pawn in a game far beyond his control. As supernatural forces begin to torment him, his body starts to change, and he learns the horrifying truth about his own role in the ancient prophecy that the cult has been waiting to fulfill. With eerie atmosphere, grotesque horror, and an ending that will leave you shocked, Hellhole delivers a disturbing take on religious horror, packed with demonic possession, occult conspiracies, and a slow descent into madness. At number 6, Malevolent, 2018. Angela and Jackson are fake paranormal investigators, conning people into believing their homes are haunted until they get called to a real haunted house. The duo specializes in staging ghost cleansings, using fake gadgets and psychological tricks to convince their clients of supernatural activity. But when they take on a job at an old orphanage where young girls were murdered decades ago, they quickly realize that this house is truly haunted. Angela begins hearing whispers and seeing apparitions, while Jackson becomes increasingly disturbed by the eerie atmosphere. What starts as a routine con job spirals into a real-life nightmare as the spirits trapped in the house begin revealing their horrific past and the truth about who was responsible for their deaths. With a slow-burning suspense, chilling atmosphere, and shocking reveals, Malevolent is a creepy, ghostly thriller that slowly unravels into true horror. At number 5, Errementari, 2017. Steeped in Basque folklore, Errementari, the Blacksmith and the Devil, is a dark fantasy horror thriller that plays like a twisted, gothic fairy tale. Set in 19th century Spain, the film follows Patsy, a reclusive blacksmith who lives on the outskirts of town. The villagers believe he is a violent and dangerous man, a rumor fueled by the fact that his home is surrounded by traps and fortifications. But when Yuju, a young orphan girl, sneaks into his home, she discovers the blacksmith's horrifying secret: he has a demon locked in a cage in his workshop. As Yuju's presence disrupts the delicate balance, the demon begins to manipulate the situation, revealing that Patsy has been hiding a dark and tragic past. When villagers and religious authorities arrive to confront the blacksmith, the film descends into chaos, blurring the lines between good and evil, man and monster. With stunning gothic visuals, folklore-inspired horror, and an eerie supernatural atmosphere, Errementari delivers a unique, dark, and mesmerizing thriller that is as haunting as it is visually breathtaking. Now, at number 4, Compliance, 2012. How far would you go if someone in a position of authority ordered you to do something unethical? Compliance explores this terrifying concept in a psychological thriller so disturbing that it's hard to believe it's based on a real-life incident. The film takes place in a fast food restaurant, where Sandra, the manager, receives a phone call from someone claiming to be a police officer. The man tells her that one of her employees, Becky, has been accused of theft and must be detained in the restaurant's back room. Without question, Sandra follows his instructions, keeping Becky locked away as the call continues. What starts as a simple interrogation soon escalates into a nightmare of psychological and physical abuse, all because Sandra and her coworkers blindly obey the voice on the phone. Becky is subjected to humiliating and degrading treatment, each step feeling more shocking than the last. The caller manipulates the situation with terrifying ease, exploiting the character's willingness to comply with perceived authority. As the tension builds, the realization dawns: the so-called officer isn't a cop at all, but rather a manipulative predator conducting a cruel experiment in human obedience and submission. A deeply unsettling and thought-provoking film, Compliance forces viewers to confront the terrifying reality of how easily people can be manipulated, making it one of the most chilling real-life psychological thrillers ever made. At number 3, Before I Wake, 2016. Grief and the supernatural collide in Before I Wake, a deeply emotional yet terrifying supernatural thriller that explores the power of dreams and nightmares. Jesse and Mark, a grieving couple who lost their young son in a tragic accident, decide to adopt a foster child, Cody, in hopes of starting over. Cody is a quiet and kind boy, but there's something unusual about him: he refuses to sleep. At first, the couple assumes it's just trauma, but they soon discover that Cody's dreams manifest into reality while he sleeps. At first, his dreams bring magical and wondrous visions. Beautiful butterflies fill the house, and Jessie even sees her deceased son appearing before her. But the wonder quickly turns to terror when Cody's nightmares also take shape, introducing them to a monstrous entity called the Cankerman, a shadowy, horrifying figure that lurks in the dark. As the creature grows more aggressive, Jesse and Mark must unravel the tragic mystery behind Cody's nightmares, because the truth behind the Cankerman may be far worse than anything they could have imagined. Blending heartfelt storytelling with eerie supernatural horror, Before I Wake delivers a haunting and visually stunning thriller that lingers long after the final scene. At number 2, Cam, 2018. Alice, a rising cam girl known as Lola_Lola, is determined to climb the ranks on her adult webcam site, pushing boundaries to gain more viewers. However, her life takes a horrifying turn when she wakes up one day to find that an exact replica of herself has taken over her account, performing live shows that she has no control over. As Alice desperately tries to regain her identity, she realizes that the doppelganger is not just an imposter but something far more sinister, completely erasing her existence online and in the real world. With no help from the platform and increasing paranoia setting in, Alice is forced to uncover the eerie truth behind the entity that has stolen her life. Cam is a psychological thriller that explores themes of identity, technology, and the dark side of internet fame, delivering a gripping and eerie story that feels all too real in today's digital age. And finally, at number 1, The Call, 2020. Seo Yun, a young woman, moves back into her childhood home and stumbles upon an old cordless phone. When it suddenly rings, she answers, only to hear the voice of another woman, Young Suk, who claims to be living in the same house but in the past, 20 years earlier. As the two women continue talking, they develop an eerie friendship, exchanging information across time. However, when Seo Yun warns Young Suk of her impending death, she unknowingly sets off a chain of horrifying events that alter the past and the present in terrifying ways. What starts as a desperate attempt to help quickly becomes a deadly game of manipulation, as Young Suk, now aware of her dark future, begins to reshape history to suit her own twisted desires. As reality begins to crumble around her, Seo Yun must find a way to stop the monstrous force she has unleashed before it's too late. The Call is a mind-bending psychological thriller that blends time travel with horror, delivering shocking twists and an unforgettable finale. And there you have it, 8 eerie, unsettling, and thrilling movies currently streaming on Netflix that you don't want to miss this February. Whether you're in the mood for supernatural horror, psychological mind games, or crime-driven suspense, this list has something to keep you on edge. So, dim the lights, grab your favorite snacks, and get ready for a binge-worthy, spine-chilling experience. Which of these movies are you excited to watch first? Let me know, and if you have more recommendations, drop them in the comments. Stay spooky and subscribe to